Yes, mate. Wanted to do a quick video again on common problems for Jaguar XJ X351 Jaguars. You might have seen my review on it. These are reliable cars. They really are. But there's a few little things to kind of watch out for. One of the ones was the blown speakers. If you haven't seen my video on that, go and check that video out about blown speakers. The other thing to bear in mind with these cars is the coolant system. So even if you've got old cars, going back to 75 or even like any JLR products, the cooling system they use was just made out of like the same plastic. Well, it's this plastic, let's be honest. It's not the greatest of plastics, and they all suffer from it. It's just a common problem. It's gone back for 50 years, just JLR things with cheap plastics. I thought I'd show you, I've had two common problems on this car in the last couple of months. I did replace one bit. I'll talk you through it. I didn't take a video at the time when I did it because it was kind of urgent. My missus needed to use the car, needed to get back on the road. But basically I had a low coolant warning on the dash. But on opening this, it had dropped, which I was quite shocked at, really, because you shouldn't really use any water at all, or any coolant, should I say. Looking around, I topped it up. Within a few days, it was back to being low again. I took the engine cover off. If you want to check this, it's a common problem. Take the oil cap off. You can then take the engine cover off, put the oil cap back on, just so you don't drop any crumbs or anything goes in there. But basically I was getting water. I don't know if you can see that. This is the V of the engine. You can imagine the V is that way, and in the middle of the V, if you can see down there, it's gonna be hard to see, but there's a little bit of metal, and I was getting water pooling down there. Looking online again, Facebook groups, things like that are really good for this car. There's a great community out for Jaguar, Land Rovers, Range Rovers, anything like that. They're really good communities. But down in there, there was a little pool. So looking online, there's what is underneath here called a coolant outlet. My local parts place had it, 30 quid. It's a common problem. They're like press fitted together, and the original ones just pop at the seams. So most people are going to have this problem with this car. I think it happens on all XFs, everything like that. It's just a standard one. Apparently it's on loads of cars. The guy in the parts department was like, yeah, it's another one of these. This happens every other week. All I had to do that, again, I should have taken a video at the time, but I disconnected the EGR. This is the EGR valves, or the pipes. Disconnected that. I moved a lot of this stuff out the way, so you kind of have to get in there. But apart from that, it's like two hoses into it, and it's fixed, and she's great. Since doing that, even though the water, I topped up the water, obviously, I didn't put any additional coolant in it. You rarely see the temperatures that you need to have. It's all right topping up with a bit of water. I noticed it was staying fine, but then I still had the warning on my dash. Looking online as well, this is something I did a few years back. This is the overflow for it, or if it's either overflows or venting. But this, if you can see where I put some zip ties on there, because a tiny leak there, and you'll see it on here. Can you see it? That's coolant popping out of it. And what I've decided to do today, well, from the warning on the dash, it turns out that this best thing to do is replace this. So there's a little underneath, there's a coolant sensor valve. If you have a drop in coolant, it tends to be, because for many years, it's a 2011 car, I think this is, so it's 14 years old. It's never that gauge has never dropped, and when it drops and it tries to go back up again, it doesn't pop up, and it's basically saying time to change the tank. So it's got two problems with this. Not only do you get the common problem with the coolant outlet in the V of the engine, but you also get problems with this here. This is a very common problem to fail, and you get this little leak. As you can see, just from when I move that there, they snap. So if you see, this is my replacement, 30 quid on eBay, Chinese made, but spot on exactly. You can see how long that tube is, and they just snap there. So that one had obviously snapped. I'd zip tied it on, which isn't great, but it did last me another year like that. I just kept an eye on the levels, made sure any time I opened the engine bay, I wasn't getting any fluid in there. But also the actual sensor itself on these go. So the best advice to do, really, even if you get one of these cars, these are cheap, easy fixes, DIY stuff. Replace the coolant outlet in the V of the engine and replace this. This is, again, it's a DIY job. I'm going to kind of run you through it now, just in case you've never done this before, but it's really easy. I popped that off, but again, it just kind of broke in my hand, and did one screw here, just one screw on it, and this whole thing is loose, and underneath it's just one, if you can see that where my finger is there, just one tube that fills it. That's the expansion tank with all the coolant in, and you basically gonna take that off and swap it for that. It's just one screw, and that's it. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of show you how to do that now. When you're in here, if you're doing this coolant, but when you're doing it, by the way, what I would do is clear out all of this. So this is all your intakes. This part comes off. So to get to the coolant outlet valve, this part has to come off. I think this is your throttle body. I think it is. Yeah, you've got throttle body here. Take this bit off, and all of these pipes in here. This is your inlet manifolds. This is an occasional problem on them as well. Kind of time consuming. Again, it's quite easy. They're made of plastic again. These go after time, and you got one side, one inlet valve on inlet manifold cover on either side of the engine. They go. A previous owner of this car has refitted, fixed one, but not the other, which was kind of stupid. But when you do it, I'd clean all this out because it gets coked up with all this diesel, etc. From the EGR. EGR is exhaust recirculation gas. So basically, it takes the gas from the exhaust of your car and pumps it back into the inlet. So basically, the worst way really to kind of describe this is your car's breathing its own guffs. Do you know what I mean? It's always it's using that dirty air that's coming out to put back in the engine for emission's sake. Obviously, you can do these. I'm going to do a future video on what you can do for things like DPF problems on this car, EGR problems, AdBlue. I haven't got AdBlue on this one, but I think later models had. Lots of people do mods with it. I'll do an in-depth video about that if you're concerned about this. But obviously, as it's breathing all that exhaust gas over years, it clogs up everything from the throttle body backwards all the way into the inlet manifolds. Isn't really the reason why these crack. It's just age-related plastic stuff on them. But again, it just limits performance on the car. It's going through its own waste, which is no good on any car. It's not just Jaguars, it's just diesel regulations for it. There are, as I say, resolutions for that. But if you are going to do this, clean everything out so it's nice and clean and it's fresh again. You will get a better air intake into your car. But yeah, that's one thing to bear in mind if you do it. It's a horrible job. You're kind of scraping out all the dirt that's in it. But yeah, clean that out, and I just feel since I was doing that, I thought, well, that's an added bonus. I did plan to do it. I always tend to do it on any diesels, clear them all out, make sure that inlet's the intake's nice and clean. But yeah, back to this anyway. I'm going to take this off now. Underneath here you can see there's a little metal clip. You can just use a flathead screwdriver down there just to pop that off, and this is now ready to move. So I'm going to remove this, put this one in, and I'll kind of show you that at the end. 20 seconds later, she's out. I'm going to tip her up because obviously she's full of old coolant, but it's just taking that one off there. There's also the sensor, which is that little bottom port there. If you can see on the new one for the 30 quid comes with a new sensor. It's just on there, which kind of slots, twist it and it pops out. This one, as I kind of pulled it out, it's just push fit this pipe. You pull it off the side. And when I pulled that one out, you can see the actual whole sensor came out. So this is shot. You can sack this off, and you've got a new one. You don't even need to refill much. You don't have to drain your coolant to do this. It's easy enough. Just when that goes down, just grab the hose and pull it up. So obviously gravity's not emptying your whole system. That's a bit of a mess. I was going to use a jug, but it didn't even need it. Only a little bit come out. So yeah, one bolt, one hose for it, and the sensor, and that's it. She's out. Sorry, and that top one as well, which I'll fit as well. So yeah, going to fit this now, this new one, and I'll show you that what it looks like now. It takes me. It's a fast job. I mean, this is 10 minutes to do the whole lot. Not this. Sorry, the outlet valve. I reckon that took about an hour and a half, just because I was cleaning everything out, took my time with it. It's all simple. This is a DIY job, so hopefully this video helps someone. Just one thing here, when fitting this, this is just a clip here. You can get some pliers around it, pull it off. The hardest bit, if your has snapped like mine has, I had to pull it out in pieces. So it goes to show how brittle the plastic is, that you have to kind of pull it out of the tube bit by bit, but make sure that's all out. Put a bit of soapy water around here. You can put a bit of grease, I suppose, a bit of oil, just to ease it back on while pushing this in. That was the hardest bit to put it back on. Was this bit here. And that's it. She's in. Really easy. As I say, one bolt there. You've got to line up those two holes there. You'll notice that when you pull out the other ones, these ones here, this just fits in, slots in. I actually reused the coolant out the old tank. It was clean enough. It'll get changed on my next service anyway. I change them every couple of years, so I just poured it back in there. Yeah, really simple job. Make sure it's nicely connected, the sensor on the back. Obviously, you're going to want to start the car and bleed the system, so make sure you're topped up. I had to top up with a bit of water. I'll put this back on, let it warm up, and then I'll undo that screw. That's your bleed screw. So you just undo that, let any air out. As soon as any water starts coming out of there or any coolant, tighten it back up. She's generally good as gold. So yeah, nice easy job. Again, for any owners of these, I would do stuff like this because, as I say, Jaguars they're notorious for kind of breaking down on the side of the road just from coolant issues. And it's all so cheap. As I say, that coolant outlet underneath in the V, that was 30 quid. This was 30 quid on eBay. It takes a couple of hours of your time, and you know you're not going to get stranded. I mean, that's, you know, less than a year's AA cover. So all owners should be doing this. Just as part of like regular maintenance. They're all, you know, they're all pushing 10 years old. If you go for an earlier one, which I'd recommend given how cheap they are, it's just standard maintenance on them. Got to do them. So yeah, hope that helps someone. Sorry for kind of like a quick shoddy video, and I wasn't showing every step by step. If you're new to my channel, go and check out my videos. I got a great review on this. It's done quite well. Lots of views, people like that. Give me a subscribe. Thank you to anyone who already does. I'm guessing most of the people that see this video already do, so thank you for subscribing. Loads of other videos coming up. I got loads of stuff I'm doing to that Range Rover over there. I'm filling a full new system in there, updating that to like basically 2025 standards. Loads of stuff on the Maserati. I've got stuff on this one. This one's coming. I've just got this MOT today. 1975. Again, cooling issues on this. It's, you know, Jaguar just don't learn. This is just had a load of work on me doing. I've been taking a few videos along the way. Just got an MOT today and it passed, so I'm over the moon. I don't think that's been on the road for a number of years. It's my late father's car, and we thought we'd kind of get it back to good shape. And at some point then I'll also be doing some videos on my Ferrari 360 over there. But yeah, thanks all. Hope this video helps someone, and yeah, thanks for watching.